Ever had a marshmallow and thought, this is weirdly fascinating? It's like a sugary astronaut, floating in your mouth, waiting for the mission to start. It's basically a sugar cube with a soft, squishy personality. It's the snack version of a jelly bean. So why does it melt? Is it the heat of your mouth or the magic of sugar? Let's find out and maybe answer the question. Why do we even like marshmallows? So what exactly are we talking about? Marshmallows, right? Those sugary, fluffy, cloud-like things that make your mouth feel like a cotton candy factory. They're not just treats. They're like little sugar clouds that melt in your mouth, turning into a gooey, sticky mess that makes your tongue feel like a glue factory. But wait, how do they even melt? Are they like ice cream? No, not really. They're more like a sugary sponge that gets soaked by your saliva. So we're not just talking about a sweet snack. We're talking about a chemical reaction that turns sugar into a sticky, gooey mess in your mouth. And if you're wondering, no, they don't really melt into your mouth. They just get soft, then you chew them up and swallow them. So in short, we're talking about how a sugary cloud turns into a sticky mess in your mouth. Got it? Time to get into the science. You think you're just eating a snack? No, you're in a sugar-powered drama where the main character is a marshmallow, and you're the tragic hero who gets to taste the downfall. This isn't just about taste. It's about texture, temperature, and the slow, inevitable collapse of a sugary dream. If you don't care about marshmallows melting, you're probably not paying attention to the real story here. The science of how your mouth becomes a sugar lab. And let's be real, if you can't handle the drama of a marshmallow's last moments, you're probably not cut out for the finer points of life. So yeah, maybe you should care. Because if you don't, you're just letting a tiny sugar drama play out in your mouth and never understanding why it hurts so good. So here's the deal. Marshmallows have been around since the 1500s, but they weren't called marshmallows then. Back then, they were called mallow and people thought they were made from the marsh plant. Yeah, like really. Then, in the 1800s, some guy named Pierre in France made the first marshmallow using gelatin. He didn't know it would become a snack. He just wanted to make a dessert that looked like a cloud. By the 1900s, marshmallows were in every candy shop, and they were basically the snack of the future. People even started putting them in hot cocoa. Who knew? Then came the 1950s, and suddenly marshmallows were in everything. You could buy them in boxes, bags, and even in the shape of animals. Like a marshmallow bear. Who needs a bear when you can have a marshmallow bear? And today they're not just in your mouth, they're in your cereal, your s'mores, and your nightmares. But hey, someone has to melt, and it's always the marshmallow. So here's the thing, marshmallows are like tiny pillows made of sugar and air. When you put one in your mouth, it's like giving a pillow a hug. The warmth of your mouth is the hug that makes it go soft and squishy. The sugar is like the blanket, and the air is like the fluff. Together they make something that's super easy to melt. It's like if a pillow had a meltdown, but way more tasty. But here's the kicker, your mouth isn't just warm, it's also wet. That's like giving the pillow a bath. The water helps the sugar dissolve and the air escapes, making it all gooey and delicious. So when you chew, you're basically turning that pillow into a sweet, sticky puddle. It's like a sugar pillow that can't resist your mouth's warm and wet hug. And that's how marshmallows melt in your mouth. Like a pillow that can't resist a hug, but with way more sugar and way less fabric. So you've got this marshmallow, right? It's like a little cloud of sugar and air, waiting to be melted by your mouth. It's basically a sugary balloon that's about to pop in your mouth. Now your mouth is basically a warm, wet oven. Not the kind that burns your food, but the kind that slowly cooks things into goo. Think of it like a mini microwave for your tongue. But here's the thing, your mouth isn't just hot, it's also got this special liquid called saliva. It's like the secret sauce that helps the melting process go faster. Saliva is basically the marshmallow's best friend. And guess what? The saliva doesn't just sit there. It actually starts to break down the marshmallow's structure. It's like when you pour water on a sponge, it gets soggy and starts to dissolve. So the marshmallow is now a sugary sludge, and the only thing left is to let it melt completely. It's like when you melt ice cream in your mouth, it just becomes a sweet, sticky mess. Okay, so the marshmallow is already soft and squishy from step one. Now it's like a soggy pillow in your mouth. Your tongue is basically a warm, wet blanket trying to flatten it out. Your saliva is like the secret sauce here. It's not just water, it's got enzymes and stuff that start breaking down the sugar and starch in the marshmallow. The starch in the marshmallow also starts to break down. It's like when you mix cornstarch with water, it gets thick and slimy. But in your mouth it's even more dramatic. Eventually, the marshmallow becomes a sticky, gooey mess. It's not just melting, it's dissolving into a sugary, slimy sludge that your tongue can't resist spreading around. And that's step two. The marshmallow's now a sugary, slimy blob that your brain is obsessed with. You're like, I need more of this, and you just keep chewing. Okay, so here's the real twist. Your mouth isn't just a passive sponge. It's actually a heat engine. You're not just letting the marshmallow melt, you're actively helping it. Your tongue moves around, kind of like a tiny blender, mixing up the sugar and water. It's not just melting, it's creating a sweet, sticky soup. And here's the kicker. Your saliva is like the ultimate secret ingredient. It's not just wet, it's actually a superpower that turns sugar into a gooey, tasty mess. So in the end, it's not just about the marshmallow. It's about the whole team in your mouth, tongue, saliva, breath, and your own body heat, working together to make that sweet, sticky magic. Okay, so the real secret is that your mouth is like a mini microwave. It's warm, it's moist, and it's got that perfect heat to make the marshmallow go from solid to gooey in seconds. Just like your microwave, but way more comfortable. The sugar in marshmallows is like a sugar crash waiting to happen. It's all about the structure of the sugar molecules, which are kind of like a tight crowd of people holding hands. When you melt them, they just let go and become a happy, sticky puddle. And here's the funny part. Your saliva is like a sugary superhero. It breaks down the sugar, turns it into something your body can use, and also keeps things from getting too sticky. It's basically your mouth's version of a superhero cape. But wait, not all marshmallows are the same. Some are more like spongy clouds, others are denser and harder to melt. It's like comparing a marshmallow to a sponge cake, both fluffy, but one takes longer to soak up the moisture. So in the end, it's not just about heat, it's about chemistry, structure, and a little bit of luck. You've got the perfect setup in your mouth to turn a marshmallow into a sweet, sticky masterpiece. So imagine your mouth is a tiny hot tub, and the marshmallow is a soggy sponge. You just dipped it in a cup of hot cocoa, and now it's all soft and squishy. The heat from your tongue is like a warm towel wrapped around the marshmallow, slowly soaking it up and making it gooey. And just like when you forget your sunscreen and end up with a sunburn, your marshmallow gets all melty and disappears into your mouth. So in short, your mouth is a hot tub, your tongue is a towel, and your marshmallow is a sponge. And it's all very, very messy. Okay, so you're thinking, wait, does the sugar actually dissolve in your mouth? No, not really. It's more like the sugar molecules are just getting really cozy with the water in your saliva and starting to break apart. It's like when your mom tells you to take a warm bath and you're like, I'm already melting. But here's the weird part. Your mouth isn't just a soup pot. It's got enzymes like little molecular chefs that help break down the sugar even faster. It's like if your mouth had a secret kitchen staff working overtime and they're all like, let's get this sugar out of here. And guess what? Those enzymes are kind of picky. They like the right temperature and pH levels, so if you're drinking ice water, your mouth is basically like, I'm not in the mood for this. But if you're sipping hot chocolate, it's like, let's get this sugar party started. So in reality, the sugar doesn't just melt, it's more like a chemical dance. Your mouth is a party, and the sugar is the guest who's really into the dance and just can't stop moving. It's not just melting, it's getting cozy with your saliva. So next time you eat a marshmallow, remember, you're not just eating candy. You're watching a mini science experiment in your mouth, and the sugar is the star of the show. It's like a tiny party that's way more fun than you expected. So I'm here to tell you that the idea that marshmallows melt in your mouth like ice cream is basically a lie. Like literally. They don't melt, they dissolve, and it's not even that dramatic. Think of it like a sugar cube in your coffee. It doesn't melt, it just gets absorbed. Your mouth is basically a sugar sponge, and the marshmallow is just a fancy candy cube. Also, if you're wondering why they taste so good when they are melted, it's because your mouth is warm and sugar loves heat. It's like a sugar hug, warm and sweet. But here's the real kicker. You don't actually melt marshmallows. You just let them dissolve into your mouth like a sugar bath. It's not a melt, it's a slow, sweet breakdown. So next time someone says marshmallows melt in your mouth, just say no, they dissolve. And I'm not even mad about it. So I thought maybe marshmallows melt because they are made of magic sugar dust. But no, turns out it's just regular sugar, and the heat from your mouth is like a warm hug for the sugar molecules. But wait, why do they melt so fast? Oh, I get it now, they're like a sponge, soaking up the heat and turning into a gooey puddle of sweet disappointment. I mean, it's not like they are made of actual liquid or anything. It's just the sugar dissolving in your mouth, like a sugar cube in a cup of tea, but with more drama. So no magic, no mystery, just science, and maybe a little bit of bad puns. But hey, that's how we learn, right? By melting into confusion and then figuring it out. So the real myth is that marshmallows melt because they're magical. But they're just sugar with a funny shape. And now I'm gonna go eat one and see if it actually melts. So you're eating a s'more and you're like, oh, these marshmallows are so soft, but really, you're just eating a sugar-coated glue stick. It's like when you accidentally stick your finger to a window in the winter, you're not melting, you're just getting stuck. And if you're eating a granola bar with a marshmallow on top, you're basically eating a sugar bomb wrapped in a cookie crust. It's like putting a firecracker in a piñata, you're just waiting for the explosion of flavor. But here's the real kicker. Your mouth is like a mini campfire. You're not melting the marshmallow, you're just cooking it. It's like trying to toast a marshmallow with your tongue, you're not melting it, you're just heating it up. And if you're eating a marshmallow in a hot chocolate, you're just making a sugar soup. It's like when you try to dissolve a gummy bear in water, you're not melting it, you're just making a sugary sludge. So next time you eat a marshmallow, remember, you're not melting it, you're just cooking it or dissolving it or sticking it. It's a sugar science experiment and you're the lab rat. But hey, at least you're getting a good flavor explosion. So here's the thing, I tried to eat a marshmallow while holding a spoon like a pro, and it just slid right off. I was like, I'm not a marshmallow, I'm a chef. But the marshmallow had other plans. It melted like it knew I was coming. I tried again, this time with a straw, thinking I was being clever. But the marshmallow just dripped down the straw like it was on a slide. I was like, I'm not a kid, I'm an adult. But the marshmallow didn't care. Then I tried to eat it with my hands like a true foodie. But the marshmallow just melted in my palm like it was a warm hug. I was like, I'm not a heater, I'm a human. But the marshmallow was too cozy for me. I even tried to use a fork, thinking I was being fancy. But the marshmallow just slid off like it was on a conveyor belt. I was like, I'm not a conveyor belt, I'm a gourmet. But the marshmallow was having none of it. In the end, I realized the marshmallow was just doing its thing, melting wherever it wanted. I was like, I'm not a container, I'm a person. But the marshmallow didn't need a container. It just needed a mouth. So I tried to melt a marshmallow in my mouth, and it was like a science experiment gone wrong. I didn't just melt it, I disintegrated it. My mouth became a marshmallow soup bowl. I think I broke the world record for fastest marshmallow disintegration. My tongue was like a superhero, and my mouth was the villain. But I'm not sure if that's a record or just a bad day. I tried to taste it after it melted, but it was like eating a puddle of sadness. I think my brain got confused and started thinking about camping trips and s'mores. I guess the moral is, don't try to melt a marshmallow in your mouth like it's a lava lamp. You'll end up with a science experiment and a weird taste in your mouth. If you ever want to break a record, try this. Melt a marshmallow in your mouth and then try to pronounce s'mores without your tongue sticking to the roof. That's a real challenge. Okay, so you're just about to enjoy that marshmallow and then, poof, it's like a glitter bomb in your mouth. The sugar dissolves, but the gooey center just sits there, like a sad jelly bean with a bad attitude. Now your tongue is like, I'm not a spoon, I'm not a blender, I'm just a weird sponge that's been hit by a tornado of sugar. And your mouth is like, I'm not a lab, I'm not a kitchen, I'm just a weird container that's been hit by a tornado of sugar. Suddenly your mouth is a science experiment gone wrong. The sugar is like, I'm sticking to everything, and the water is like, I'm evaporating in the heat of this disaster. It's like a marshmallow version of a lava lamp but with more drama. Your teeth are just trying to chew through this goo, but it's like trying to bite a marshmallow that's been dipped in glue and then left in the sun. You're like, I just wanted a snack, not a sticky situation. And then, you realize you've turned your mouth into a sticky, sweet, sugary disaster zone. You're like, I didn't sign up for this, I just wanted a marshmallow. But hey, that's the beauty of eating them. Messy, sweet, and totally worth it. So you think you know marshmallows, huh? You're probably thinking, oh yeah, they're just candy. But here's the secret, marshmallows are basically a sugar cookie that forgot to bake. They're soft, sticky, and full of air, which makes them melt faster than a popsicle in a sauna. The downside, when they melt they stick to your tongue like a bad memory. You can't just swallow them, your tongue becomes a temporary marshmallow trap. It's like trying to peel tape off your skin without a hot knife. And here's the real kicker. Once they melt, they turn into a sticky, syrupy mess that clings to your mouth like a clingy ex. You can't just brush it away. You have to wait for it to dry or fight with your tongue, which is basically a wrestling match with your own saliva. So next time you eat a marshmallow, remember, there's a reason they come in a bag. They're not just cute and fluffy, they're a little bit of a menace. You're not just eating a treat, you're starting a sugar-based game of who can hold it the longest with your own body. And if you're wondering why they don't come with a warning label, it's because they are too busy being delicious to worry about the aftermath. You're welcome to enjoy the melt, but be prepared for the sticky aftermath. It's all part of the snack experience. So how did humans even figure out that marshmallows melt in your mouth? Well, they started by eating them, and then wondering why they felt like soft clouds in your mouth. It was like, wait, Why does this stuff go from solid to gooey so fast? Then they tried to measure it, like, how long does it take for a marshmallow to melt? But they didn't have a stopwatch, they had a clock and a lot of patience. It was like waiting for a slow internet download, but with sugar. Eventually, scientists got involved and made some cool experiments. They put marshmallows in water and saw how they softened. It was like watching a sponge drink up a puddle, but with more sugar and less drama. And now we know it's all about heat and sugar. But honestly, it's still one of life's greatest mysteries, like why your dog licks your face. Just enjoy the melt and maybe a few crumbs. Okay, so what if you tried to melt a marshmallow in your mouth, but your mouth was already full of something else? Like, what if you had a gummy bear in there too? That's not a scenario, that's a dream. Imagine your mouth is like a hot plate, but it's also trying to cook a cake. Now you're trying to melt a marshmallow, but the cake is getting in the way. It's like a food fight, but with soft things. This is the edge case where everything is trying to melt, but nothing is actually melting properly. It's like a marshmallow trying to be a cake, and a cake trying to be a marshmallow. So in conclusion, if you ever find yourself with a marshmallow and a cake in your mouth, you're not just eating. You're participating in a weird, gooey, mouth-based experiment.